In the heart of the Mediterranean, on a sun-drenched island steeped in myth, lies a message from a lost world. It is a code that has defied the greatest minds for over a century, a silent whisper from a civilization that vanished into the mists of time. This is the story of the Phaistos Disc, one of history's most profound and baffling enigmas. Welcome to Echoes of Time. Our journey today takes us to the island of Crete, the cradle of the legendary Minoan civilization. Here, in 1908, amidst the ruins of a grand Bronze Age palace at Phaistos, Italian archaeologist Luigi Pernier unearthed an object of unassuming size but of monumental importance. It was a simple disc of fired clay, no larger than a dinner plate. But as he brushed away the earth of 3.5 millennia, he revealed something extraordinary. A spiral of intricate symbols, a language unlike any other ever discovered, frozen in time. For over 100 years, this artifact has held the world captive, posing a question we are still no closer to answering. What secrets does it hold? To understand the disc, we must first understand its creators. The Minoans were a remarkable civilization that flourished in the Bronze Age, from roughly 3000 to 1100 BCE. They were masters of the sea, a sophisticated maritime power whose influence spread across the Aegean. Their palaces at Massos and Phaistos were not grim fortresses, but sprawling, vibrant complexes of art and culture, adorned with magnificent frescoes depicting leaping dolphins, graceful bull leapers, and elegant processions. They were engineers, artists, and traders. They were also keepers of secrets. The Minoans used at least two other writing systems, the Cretan hieroglyphic script and the famous Linear A. To this day, both remain largely undeciphered, hinting at a depth of knowledge and a worldview we can only begin to imagine. Yet among these enigmatic scripts, the Phaistos Disc stands alone. It is a complete anomaly. Its 241 impressions, arranged in 45 unique signs, were not inscribed by hand with a stylus, as was every other known form of writing from that era. Instead, each symbol was individually stamped into the wet clay using prepared seals or punches. This was, in essence, a form of ancient printing with movable type, a technology that would not be reinvented for another 2,500 years. This unprecedented method suggests a purpose far beyond a simple note or inventory. Was this a document meant for mass production? Was it an artifact of such importance that its text required a level of formality and standardization never before seen? The very method of its creation is a clue that deepens the mystery, a testament to the ingenuity of its makers and the significance of the message they sought to preserve. The quest to unlock its meaning began almost immediately. The great Sir Arthur Evans, the legendary excavator of Knossos, was among the first to study it. But even he, the man who unveiled the Minoan world, was left mystified. In the centuries since, generations of scholars, linguists, and cryptographers have brought their genius to bear on the disc's spiraling text. They have debated its direction, arguing whether the script should be read from the outside in or the inside out. They have cataloged the symbols, which include depictions of a plumed head, a running man, a ship, a bird, and a flower, hoping to find parallels in other ancient languages. In the modern era, the power of computational linguistics and statistical analysis has been unleashed upon the disc. Algorithms search for patterns, for the frequency of symbols, for the grammatical structures that are the universal bedrock of language. Yet, the disc stubbornly refuses to yield its secrets. The primary reason is that it is what scholars call a hapax legomenon, a unique instance. With no other examples of this script to compare it to, there is no Rosetta Stone, no key to unlock its syntax or its vocabulary. It is a language in a vacuum, a conversation of none. We are left staring at a message in a bottle, written in a language the world has completely forgotten. With the door to direct translation firmly closed, scholars have turned to theoretical interpretation, leading to a fascinating and often heated debate. One of the most prominent theories proposes that the disc is a sacred text, a hymn to a Minoan deity. Proponents of this idea point to the repetitive clusters of symbols, suggesting the rhythmic, formulaic structure of a prayer or a ritual chant. Given the Minoans' reverence for powerful goddesses, often depicted in their art, it's conceivable that this disc was a liturgical tool, a standardized prayer sheet used in ceremonies within the palace walls. Its careful, almost reverent production lends weight to the idea that this was an object of profound spiritual significance, a conduit to the divine. But another, more pragmatic theory suggests a worldly purpose. The Minoans were not just artists and priests, they were the administrators of a complex maritime trading empire. Such a society would have required a sophisticated system of record-keeping, legal statutes, and treaties. Could the Phaistos Disc be a legal decree, its stamped symbols ensuring authenticity and preventing forgery? Perhaps it is a record of a treaty between Cretan cities, or a proclamation from the ruler of Phaistos. The formal, printed nature of the text would be fitting for an official document, a piece of statecraft whose message needed to be clear, unambiguous, and authoritative. In this view, the disc is not a whisper to the gods, but a declaration among mortals. A third school of thought veers away from both the sacred and the administrative, suggesting the disc had a purpose tied to the cosmos or even to leisure. Could it be a sophisticated astronomical calendar? Its spiral tracking the movements of the sun, moon, and stars across the sky. The symbols might represent constellations or celestial events, a tool for predicting seasons, guiding sailors, or determining the timing for religious festivals. Alternatively, some have proposed a more playful function, a precursor to an ancient board game. The spiral path, divided into sections, could be a track for game pieces, with the symbols dictating the rules of play. While this theory may seem less grandiose, it reminds us that ancient peoples had lives filled not just with religion and politics, but also with entertainment and games. And then there is the most provocative theory of all, that the Phaistos Disc is an elaborate hoax. Could this perfect mystery be a little too perfect? Some have questioned whether a forger in the early 20th century, perhaps even the excavator himself, could have created the disc to secure fame and funding. However, this idea is largely dismissed by the mainstream scholarly community. Thermoluminescence dating has confirmed that the clay was fired in antiquity, and the archaeological context in which it was found, alongside a linear A tablet in a sealed underground depository, strongly supports its authenticity. Yet, the very existence of this theory underscores the profound frustration and deep-seated mystery the disc represents. When all logical paths are exhausted, the mind begins to wander into the shadows of doubt. After more than a century of intense scrutiny, we stand where the first archaeologists stood, in awe of an object we cannot comprehend. The Phaistos Disc is more than just an undeciphered artifact. It is a powerful symbol of the vastness of our own ignorance. It is a tangible piece of a lost world, a fragment of a human story whose language, beliefs, and history have been almost entirely erased by time. Each theory, a hymn, a law, a calendar, a game, offers a tantalizing glimpse into the Minoan mind, but each remains an unproven conjecture, a phantom possibility. The disc remains silent, its spiral a frozen whirlwind of questions. It is a perfect echo from the past, clear in its form, but utterly indecipherable in its content. It reminds us that history is not just a collection of known facts, but a vast ocean of forgotten stories, and we are standing at the shore, trying to understand the message carried in a single sealed bottle. Will we ever break its code and hear the voice of the Minoans? Or is their world destined to remain an echo we can sense, but never truly understand?